sounds like a costly move for police state action. In my opinion.
Has that been a real problem? The administration said, right.
The citizen that's proposing this is saying non-compliance with these laws is currently rapid, depriving citizens of their right to access to public information.
So it's saying that you're having difficulty getting freedom of information in the city?
Yes. And also pointing out that the open meetings law, meetings aren't being.
The meetings are open.
Okay, the citizen is proposing that they're not. The
Well,
issue
I
is whether or
beg to
not,
differ.
again,
They're not allowed to speak at our meetings except at the public hearings.
let's be clear, this is not just about the charter.
Oh,
This is the
I'm
city of
talking
Yonkers.
charter.
This is the city of Yonkers. The issue is whether or not the city of Yonkers should have a public forum.
I'm just talking charter.
Is that a charter amendment or is that a administration procedure?
That would be a question, and
I think
if
we
we felt like
defer
there was
that.
something that we wanted done, we could look into whether or not it is even an item for the charter.
Yeah, I think Marshall would have to give you a reading.
Right. But the question is, do we even have any interest in it? If we don't have any interest, there's no need to ask any questions.
We need to ask Steve.
Whether or not, again, the issue to ask Steve is whether or not it's something we can do if we had desire to do. I'm
But I
asking,
think
do we?
I think we need to do that first before we,
I don't think there's any, my opinion is there's nothing to ask Steve if we don't have any desire to
Should
do
we
it.
take a vote on if we decide to go further on this particular issue or not and get it to feedback?
I mean, there's another action that we could take, by the way, as a proposal to put out to you, is that one of the other things that could be done is this matter could be referred to the Inspector General. We do have an Inspector General to look at Yonkers compliance with things. So what could be proposals is we could propose not to take any action, any further action on the matter. We could propose to looking into it further, deciding with it. We could propose and refer this citizen to referring it to the Inspector General. What's your pleasure? Anyone willing to make a motion? Okay, I actually, we've been fairly careful not taking motions to take no action. We've only taken motions for action. So is there anyone willing to make a motion for an action? By default, we do nothing if we don't get motions for action. How we plan this, there's a implied, not implied, probably directly stated complaint that the city of Yonkers is not complying with the Freedom of Information law and open meetings laws. We have an Inspector General who looks into issues of compliance for laws for the city of Yonkers officials, and saying that one of the potential items we could do is refer the citizen to speak to the Inspector General.
Can I go all of that?
Good. Someone will make such a motion.
I would.
Thank you. Seconded? Angela, seconded. All in favor? Any opposed? Seeing none. Motion carries. The third item that was proposed by the citizen was,
what's the motion, I'm sorry?
the motion is that the Charter Revision Commission is recommending that the citizen take this particular issue to the Inspector General. Item 3 proposed by the citizen was require all notices of meetings to be published on websites. Again, this is speaking beyond the Charter Commission. This is, and she agreed the language verbatim, require that notices of all public meetings and hearings of city agencies, boards, and bodies, as well as their agendas and minutes, be timely published on the city website. There is nothing preventing the city of Yonkers from requiring such electronic publication as an additional measure to ensure the governmental transparency and public accessibility above and beyond the minimum requirements as outlined in the New York State FOIL law and open meetings law.
What is the correct procedure?
For all, I mean, this again is referring to all, so I don't have the
Right.
answer for all.
Are these available to the public if they walk into City Hall? I can look at them.
The notes of our, what this citizen is proposing is that our notes, as well as notes of all meetings, would be
Be on the,
on the internet. Our notes are not
No,
current.
notice of the meeting.
Notice
That
and
the meeting is
notes.
gonna take place.
Notice and notes is what this is proposing.
Notice.
Agendas
minutes.
and minutes. This said notices, agendas, and minutes.
If I were to walk into the city clerk's office tomorrow and ask for the minutes of the charter commission for the last 6 months, could I get them?
No. You could get last year's public, you could get last year's final document where we published all of our proceedings, discussions, and how we went about making decisions, but it is not published after each meeting. We're not leaving this meeting, Lorraine will forward minutes to me, we're not then taking those and forwarding those and putting them on the website. And I couldn't begin to tell you that regarding any other agency of the city bureaucracy. That is what is being proposed, that all of those would be required.
It would seem to me that publishing notes on the website could lead to a lot of misunderstanding, a lot of misinformation. And I want
Other thoughts?
Well, just to back up, the definite minutes of a meeting are never approved until the following month. Anyway, so any minutes or notes that come out of this will never be approved until we approve them next month or next week or whenever this board meets again.
So
So
that's-
it's a question of timing.
Right, so that would be a question of the detail. The issue really on the table is whether or not we want to require them to be published by all, again, what's currently here is all public meetings and hearings by city agencies, boards, and bodies. That's what's currently being proposed. We could, again, do nothing. We could say there are certain ones we want to require. We could find out which ones are required, because I'm certain some are required, but they are public documents. I
Well,
can't-
this is specific to putting it on the website.
And this one is specific to putting it on the website.
Well, and that really speaks to funding and the availability of having a person from the city being available to put it on the website.
Again, we could look
So
into
that
if
would
that's a
be
significant
something-
number,
Yeah.
if that's a significant cost. My little knowledge of the website, that's not a significant issue.
I don't.
And could we separate notices of meetings from agendas and minutes? You know, notices
You
of
do whatever you
meetings.
like.
I like where you're going with that. I like the idea of an announcement of a meeting, but not the particulars.
Oh, particulars, I got a headache just thinking about that. You know,
You like the idea of requiring notices?
Yes,
Okay. Any other thoughts?
notice
Ron?
of meetings, announced meetings, yeah.
What, if we take an
On the
action, one of
website?
the first actions we'll take is see if that's the case now.
See
I
if
can't
it's a
imagine
charter
it's
issue.
not, by the way.
I agree.
I don't know if they're on the website, but they're posted downstairs for each meeting.
Like we actually posted downstairs and on the website.
And the planning board and zoning are always on cable vision, channel 78, 2 weeks in advance of the meeting, so that's always on TV.
So again, so we're back to the question is, first, before we decide how, do we want to do anything? And then we can look into the details. As you know, before we decide how we're doing it, we're talking to Steve.
Absolutely.
But is there something there? And so what the conversation has been, is that there's been a conversation about at least talking about notices. Making sure that the notices are required. I see some noddings of heads.
Yes.
I think that's already.
Yeah, I'm pretty, I'm just checking it.
I think
nothing
that's,
wrong with checking that out.
yeah.
but is this a charter thing?